In this video, I'm going to be showing how to draw a car on a road in one-point perspective. I've got a picture of a car here to show something to work from. In this picture, you can see that there is perspective. It looks like the car is going back in space. And I'm going to draw a couple of lines on here to show you how it looks like it's going back in space to one point. Okay, so if I line up a ruler with the side of the car, I'm looking at the bottom side of the car right now, and I draw a line back. Okay, it looks like it's going back at this angle. And then if I notice that there's a bump here, but I'm going to try to ignore that and just pretend as if it's going straight back. So if I look at the hood of the car from the left side here, I can see that I've got a couple of angles to work with. I'll do one more so that you can see what I'm talking about. So the top right side of the hood here, if I look at how it's going back in space, I'm getting close there. I'm a little bit off, but right about here is my vanishing point. So, and I know the vanishing point will be on the horizon. That means this car is below my eye line. And if I was to put a horizon line on, I know that the top area would be where the sky is and the bottom area is where the ground is. So sky, ground, vanishing point. I've got a couple points. I'm going to look at this picture to help me when creating a drawing in perspective on this paper of a car. So on this paper, I've already got my horizon line, vanishing point, and I put in a road. Notice the road is wider where it's close to me, and it gets smaller and smaller until it disappears at the vanishing point. Okay, so how to draw a car using one-point perspective. It's coming at me. It's going to be on this side of the road. And I'm going to use angles that are similar to this to plan out how to draw the car. So I need the left side of the car. Okay, notice my angle is about like that. I'm going to create an angle that's about the same. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as this drawing here. I can make it different if I want to draw the car differently. But it gives me something to look at. Okay, so that will be the left side of the car. Now I want the right side of the car. It's not the top part there. Part of these lines are going to get erased later. And I also want the bottom right side. I can't see the left bottom, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so 3 lines to start with. Then I'm going to start dividing it up, going back. Since this is one-point perspective, I'm going to ignore how this goes a little bit at an angle because that would be 2-point perspective. Instead, I'm going to keep any part of the car that's flat like this, like it's like I'm looking at it straight on. I'm going to keep it flat. So the front of the car, I make a bottom and a top for where the grill will be. And yes, it's not going to look quite like this fancy red car here. Okay, so that's the front. If I want to add, a grill or lights or something. Oh, I'm sorry, the front has to be boxed up because it's not going back in space. Oh, sorry. Other side. That's the top of my this right here, that's the top of my hood. So I can't go out farther than my hood when I'm drawing. So here we go. I've got a shape for that. Then I can go back on the hood towards my windshield and decide how far back is that windshield going to be. Okay, so grill, hood, and then up here the windshield. See how it's going to come up a little bit. So I will make the windshield come up. Okay, and anytime you have the perspective line going behind something, you can erase it. So the line, if it goes behind the windshield here, I can get rid of that bit and just leave the windshield. And I want to keep this. This is for the hood of the car. Okay, so going back from the windshield, notice I came up, so I'm not really using the same perspective lines there. I need to go from the corner of the windshield, the top corner of the windshield, back towards the horizon line, and this corner here back towards my vanishing point. Okay, so all of this is going to be hidden. That line that came off of the hood. So I don't need it, but I do need this going back. And then I decide how far back is it going to go. In here, I can't see it very much. So I'm going to leave it fairly small. Okay, so I've got this now for that's the front and top of the car. Now I'm going to look at the side of the car here. And I want to go from here back down. It's like the other side of my roof. Back down like this. And I can only see a little bit of that back part of the car. So just a tiny smidge. And then I'm going to bring it down more vertical because this part, the back end, is not going back in space so much. So it's going to come down. Okay. So I've got it almost done. I need to curve around here. And one more thing I want to make sure I add on here to make it look like a car is wheels. And then after that, you can decorate the car how you would like. So the wheels, notice that I don't want the wheel to come out like this because I'm looking at it in perspective. It's going to smush and flatten, but it also needs to stay vertical. So they're going to look like this. One in the front. And one smaller one towards the back. Okay, so I know this is a very chunky, squared off looking car, but you can always round it out more if you want to, right? If you kind of erase some areas and round it out a little bit. And I'm going to give it some really square looking headlights on here. Here's my driver's wheel inside. Maybe there's a person in there with their hands on the wheel. And I can erase any extra lines. Okay, so there it is. My car is driving on the road. I'm going to split the road so that we can see that it is driving in the correct lane here. Down the road.